All right, everybody. Welcome to the Friday Live, weekly Friday Live with CH and Ty Audits, and we are always joined by Felon Filming 50 for these live streams. If you haven't already, go over there and give him a subscriber. He's trying to get it to where he can go live and do more interviews like this on his channel with other people. So do him that favor, do me that favor, go do that. But thanks everybody for joining us. I'm hoping that we're all having a good old day. See, we got Lenny in the chat. We got Durand. Hopefully Durand can come up here later. We got Ty McNabb there, Frank Pence, Les Paul, Phoenix Red Light. Thank you. Phoenix has been watching for an hour already. Now, we appreciate that, man. We really do.
Heck yeah.
But so guys, to start off the live, we are going to show you guys some exclusive footage.
All right, guys, we got somebody rolling up. Craig's phone is currently out of commission. So Ty's phone is currently in commission, so we're going to get rolling on Craig's as soon as we possibly can. All right, bro, let's back up a little bit. Just like standing there. What are they doing? Just standing there.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Can we help you?
Sir, are you on drugs today?
No, sir, I'm not on drugs. I'm totally sober. Can we help you?
Are you robbing something in there?
No, I'm not robbing anything.
You're not robbing.
No,
Why do you have the mask?
Yeah, this is what I normally look like.
That's what you normally
Yes,
look
sir. Yes, sir. Can we help you?
Interesting.
You got any ID on us for today?
No. You guys take care. Have
No
a good
ID?
night.
Are you, sir? Do you need assistance?
A little suspicious. That's a weird behavior right there.
Yeah. He thinks the pull door is a push door too.
That was something.
I don't know. I think that's kind of weird, don't you?
Really weird.
That's what he normally looks like. I've never ran into somebody that looks quite like that.
All right, guys. So I just thought I'd drop you some exclusive footage from an audit that we did months ago that hasn't really been seen. I thought that was hilarious, guys. The guy actually took his beanie and shoved it, pulled it right over his face, and just came out. And that was a security guard, by the way. That was not just anybody. Joseph Boyd, you guys were watching an older video that hasn't been shown to the public. I actually think it was posted on TikTok. I can't be sure about that. But anyways, guys, today we're just gonna get to discussing some freedom stuff, all that freedom stuff. Oh, snap. CH is a big pimp, full-time auditor getting it done. Hell yeah, I can't argue with that. Can I come in? Oh, why can't you? I assume you could come in later. Yeah. Ty says TikTok saw it first. But all right, we got 85 in the live chat now. Felon Filming 50. What do you got for us to talk about today, man?
Well, I was talking earlier with a couple people. Hopefully we can get Kate from Mansole to come on. Haven't got that verified yet, but we also have Ryan Youngblood's going to join us. And I figured we'd just talk about freedom for a little while until then. But back to that video there. What the actual hell was that guy on, do you think?
I don't know, man. I mean, I can't say for sure. I cannot confirm nor deny, but it looked to me like he was on methamphetamines or some type of upper that would make him kind of just so delirious after about 4 days of staying up.
Yeah.
He must have actually thought that he could see through the mask. But guys, yeah. So what kind of freedom stuff did you have in mind, man? What did you want to talk about? There's a few things that we could talk about, I guess, but what did you have in mind?
What do you got? What was on your mind there, bud?
Well, I was thinking that we could discuss the Supreme Court ruling.
Oh,
that-
yeah, for New York.
Yeah, for New York and the
I
gun
saw,
law there.
I think Lenny said he was from New York, right? I think I saw in the chat there.
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, Supreme Court just passed a law on gun rights, actually, right?
well, I don't think that they just passed it. I think that they had passed it some time ago. Or maybe not. Maybe it was just about a month ago. I really don't know when it was passed, but I know that it was struck down just a couple days ago on Thursday. No, so just yesterday on Thursday, the Supreme Court ruled that Americans have a broad right to arm themselves in public, which is quite
Nice.
interesting. I actually didn't expect this from the Supreme Court. It says they ruled 6-3, and that was in favor of this gun right, which states that an individual's right to carry a handgun for self-defense outside the home. Okay, so the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to carry a handgun for self-defense outside the home. And I guess I can't, I can't hate on that. I can disagree with it, though, because the Second Amendment was never actually written in a attempt to help people have a right to self-defense. It was written so that we have the means to overthrow a tyrannical government when the time comes. White Black
Right.
says, let's chat about the 7th article of the Constitution. I'm not really familiar with the 7th article. Where's the link for the panel? Oh, good. All right. Hey, Vegas Valley can come up here. That's fine. I'm not hating on them.
Yeah.
And guys,
So correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't the
Vegas
amendments to restrict the government from what they can do to the people? As
yeah,
opposed to,
that's it. For sure. So there you go, Vegas Valley. There's the StreamYard link. We're not going to let you up here if you're going to be trying to porn bomb us, but we'll let you up here, and I'll put a
AFA
thing.
is in the chat.
Oh, AFA's in the chat. AFA can actually come up too. I could never deny AFA the right, his constitutional right to come up on a CH and Tie panel. Basic Programmer chimes in with cannabis is illegal in Indiana. I think you should learn how to spell Basic Programmer. And that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, it's very legal out here in Colorado.
Oh, I bet, man. I bet you're enjoying it out there. I'm
Very
not
much
actually
so.
seeing AFA in the chat. Where is AFA in the chat? I'm not seeing him at all.
You find him?
He must be
Somebody
up there.
said he was in the chat.
Constitutional media up there. Brian Scott Patterson, how will the Supreme Court decision regarding police failure to read Miranda rights and the fact that we now have no recourse to sue impact First Amendment auditors? I'm not sure what that means, my man. What's up, Vegas Valley?
Hey, what's going
Ryan,
on?
the link is dropped if you want to come up and. Oh, sorry.
1 second.
Yeah, not much is up, man. We're just kind of doing our weekly panel. You said that, I just read the comment that you put. You said that you've got a was it a data drop on the two fat trolls from Canada?
Yeah, check this out, bro.
All right.
I didn't do fucking porn bombs. That ain't me. But hey, it's all good. Hey, check this out. Listen, just to clear up the air, all that shit in the past that we had, it was because of these fat fucks and misinformation. Just check this out. I'm pretty sure I know where you got the picture that you have right now. You're trying to expose Fraud Patrol. Here's the deal. I know everything about Fraud Patrol. I don't know if you watched my live stream earlier, but you're about to find out who the fuck they are. The girl's name is Nika Ohiri. She's originally from Nigeria. Listen, and within an hour, well, you do your live stream. When you're done, trust me, you come over to my live stream and you watch what the fuck is going down. You're going to see these motherfuckers. I'm going to bring her back to when she was a child in Nigeria. Her father's currently sitting in fucking prison. Listen to this. Her father, she has a father and sister. Her father was arrested on an international fucking fugitive warrant. Guess for what? Take a guess. telephone scams, and credit card fraud.
Okay.
So check this out. The girl's name is Nika O'Hiri. The guy's name is Jonathan Hudon, spelled Hudon. He's sitting up in fucking. One second, I gotta hook up my dog. He's sitting up in Quebec. Canada. He's working for his father named Carol. You're gonna see all their information, their phone numbers, their fucking emails. Do you know how to spell
Nika's first and last name?
Yeah. It's Nneka. O'Hiri. Ohiri.
Wow,
Listen,
that is weird spelling for sure.
Listen, I got pictures of this bitch when she was back in Nigeria. I got pictures with her sister, and another family member back in Nigeria. I got this bitch pinned the fuck down. Listen, so here's what happened. He's trying to petition the bitch to come over to Canada. He couldn't do it. So you know what he did? She fucking came into New York. She comes through New York. She sits in Remsen, New York, which is over there by Canandaigua, New York. This motherfucker's up in Quebec. He comes down, gets the bitch, he brings her up to Canada, and he marries her. So he had to sneak around. So he skirted through America to pull her up through Niagara Falls, and then married her to skirt around her. So now we have him sitting up there. He works for a real estate. He works for his father. His father's named Carol. You're going to see the picture of his employment, the fucking address, where to find this fuck.
But they are from Canada, right?
Yeah, they live in Quebec.
Yeah, so that really explains why they've got this view that everybody should just comply with everything the government thinks. I bet that these are the kind of people that would have said, during the whole the trucker convoy, they probably would have said, yeah, well, thank God those dang truckers, they should just sit in quarantine for 14 days due to COVID. Like this is
exactly. Well, yeah, we would have been saying, fuck you, let the trucks through. You know what I'm saying? I would have been saying,
leave them alone, really. None of nobody's business if somebody's riding in their own truck and they're sick. Who the hell cares?
Now he wants to take their guns so they can really control them up there. He's trying to take the fucking guns up there now. So that's the first way that the commies start controlling you. You know what I mean? The people, they take their fucking guns because they're not going to try to control you when you're armed. No, they disarm you first. That's what Australia did.
Absolutely, man. That's kind of what they're. I guess the Supreme Court really dealt a huge blow to that recently with their recent ruling on New York gun laws. But soon enough, they might say something along the lines of, any magazine or clip holding over 10 rounds is going to be illegal, and they'll try to skirt around it and say, oh, but we're not saying that you can't have a gun. We're just saying that you can't have this many bullets for the gun. And that's kind of a way that they'll try to slowly disarm us. But that really explains a lot. They said something like they had worked out a deal with you. But let me ask you, is that picture that I have right now accurate in any way at all?
That picture came from me. Right? Here's what happened.
Yeah, I knew that.
They started fucking. Well, I'm telling you where I got it. This is where hey, check this out. My boy, Mass Accountability, got these motherfuckers in the nick of time. Here's what I mean. They were fucking with him first. And I'm down with Mass on the East Coast. I mean, Mass Accountability, we're down. And before they started fucking with me, they were fucking with Mass Accountability. And then something happened with a copyright strike. He hit him with a copyright strike or something. You know how you do the counterclaim on that shit? But something happened that when it went through, by doing that, it exposed, YouTube gave up the name of the fucking YouTube channel. Dude, so listen to this. When Max got that, he's like, wow, I got the business name. Yo, he jumped right on fucking Facebook. Boom. Yo, I got all their Facebook shit. Yo, so check this out. Now he's like pulling everything down. He's emailing me, yo, Joe, look what I got. Hey, and before I had the chance to go fucking look at it, Nika and Jonathan, they caught on to what was happening, and they fucking shut the Facebook account down. But guess what? Too fucking late. I got that shit, bro. And I took it.
Well, good.
Listen, where do you see all the pictures? Dude, where do you see this bitch? This bitch looks like fucking Mike Tyson, bro. This bitch is huge.
Yeah. And well, I guarantee it, dude, the way that she sounds is so cringy. Like, it sounds like the annoying mom out of some, 60s sitcom movie. Yes. But it's, but I don't know if you saw it. Are you seeing Joe Cool's asking you if you want some company in Vegas? I don't know if you can see that.
Oh. Yeah, that's my boy right there. Yo, what up? I didn't see the comment. Joe Cool, what it do? I know you're coming out to Vegas. Yeah, Joe Cool. Hey, Joe Cool. Go ahead, bro.
But what I was gonna do to Frauditor is he actually asked me to take that picture down. He said that it was some couple in Canada, and he,
No.
he knows them and all this. So I was thinking to myself, instead of just taking it down, I was gonna say, well, look, I'll take it down, but show us what you really look like. Show us who you really are.
Josh, listen. I don't know if you've been watching my live streams. I put the biggest fucking bluff on these fat fucks. Here's what I did, and I'm gonna do it tonight. I opened my fucking. I showed 6 MacBook Pros. Now here's the deal. My fucking credibility is golden. Philly the Hood Star, for example, sent him on a mission to get me a video from Dr. Dave. He was there on a Monday. By Friday, he had a brand fucking new MacBook Pro at his fucking residence. And needless to say, so check this out. I showed 6 MacBook Pros, right, on the screen. I said, hey, Fraud Control, because he's watching. I got 6 MacBook Pros. I showed tons of fucking cash. And then I said, I'll tell you what, and I'll also shut down both my fucking YouTubes. I will never do an audit again in my life. All you got to do is open your camera for 2 seconds and talk and let us see that the pictures I'm showing and all the address ain't you. And they wouldn't take the offer. They would not take the offer.
I guarantee it, man. I mean, that's and really it's kind of like, I just think, and they'll whine about it and they'll say, well, he's the biggest piece of crap for trying to do this. But the reality is that they did it to you. Somebody on their channel did it to me. They read off my whole criminal record as if there's anything on there to be ashamed of.
Hey,
I dealt weed. So, and
exactly.
it's like,
go ahead, keep going.
Well, I was just saying, if they are watching, which I don't know if they are, they usually watch it afterwards, though. I feel no type of way about them. I'm just saying, justice served. If you're going to get exposed, just like you expose everybody else, good. I think that's great, and I expect to hear no whining out of you, and I still expect my thank you for putting food on your extremely large table, so that you're. What did you equate his wife to? A
fucking Mike Tyson and shit.
Yeah. So I can feed your Mike Tyson-sized wife with my videos.
She's bigger than him in the fucking picture. Look how big she is in the picture. Look at her bicep. Hey, wait. Where do you see the fucking real pictures I got of this bitch, bro? I'm talking. I got her in all her fat glory, dude. She looks like. Where do you see this bitch? So on my stream, I'm gonna put all those pictures back up. Hey, but the best thing, listen, I put a petition up. Here's the thing. They're a bunch of fucking liars. All that shit they're saying about me in New York, the fact is, all that shit, I beat that fucking shit when talking about the judges. But needless to say, going back to
really, you did.
Dude, listen. Bro, listen. And here's the thing. I will talk about this on my live channel, but let's go back to the upstate New York thing. A lot of people say, yo, why the fuck you fucking with those judges up there? Well, you're gonna see today at 3 o'clock, because you know something? Here's the deal. I don't just wake up and pick someone's fucking name out and start fucking with them. I'll put a simple question. If somebody's fucking with your children, what length would you go to protect your child?
You go right to the end is where you'd go.
Thank you. Now you want to know something? Everybody knows I could be violent if I needed to, but you know what I did? All I was trying to do was I was trying to get custody of my children. My children were getting abused really bad. Matter of fact, my children, they're young. They're writing me handwritten letters of what was happening in the house, and they're mailing it to me. So this is what I did. I said, oh, fuck this. I had family members go over there, snatch my kids up, they put them on a fucking plane and send them out here. And so now New York's trying to get them, bring them back. I went through this for a couple of years until my kids were 18, but needless to say, I pressured the fuck out of those family court judges over there. That's what I was doing. Hey, and you know what's funny? Yeah, I never threatened to kill any of those motherfuckers. And if you listen to the news report closely, listen to what she says at the end. He was charged with 7 counts of harassment. Ooh, harassment.
Yeah.
Dude,
anybody could get charged with harassment. Like and was that on state employees that you were being accused of harassing?
Exactly. It was harassment.
You can't harass state employees. They work for you.
Hey, now check this out, bro. And here's what I want you. Here's what I want you to see why Fraud Control got you with some shit. I want if you go back and look at the news story that he's playing, they also say that I put up this fucking websites disparaging the judges. First of all, that ain't true. The same websites that you see in the news article, I'll show you, they're still up there today. You know what I was doing? And they're not even disparaging. All I was doing, I was pointing to them and referring to them and talking about them. And they acted like I put the website up there, and I didn't. But I'm going to show up live. I'll show my live that those motherfuckers are still there, bro.
Well, hey, you know, I actually, I'll plan on coming over and joining you and seeing what's going on because I have a personal interest in this. The way these guys
know you
insult
do.
me,
Dude,
the way
I
they
got you,
insult
Snake.
me, yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
bro. Hey, here's the deal, bro. I know that after you made that little snippet, because here's the deal. I did feel some kind of way. You want to know why? Because it was my 10K celebration. I saw you backstage. I'm keeping it real with you, bro. I saw you backstage. I said, oh fuck, I wasn't expecting him. Put him on the panel. And then remember Dr. Dave came on there? So I didn't feel something. I treated you cool, bro. You go back. I wasn't even gonna let anybody say something stupid.
Well, look, and I'm not denying that. Like, I really just the only thing that I was shown was and they're jumping a bit was
Exactly.
I just don't condone anything that could be seen as threatening. So when I say I don't condone something, it doesn't mean that I hate you. It just means that I don't actually like.
Yeah.
I don't think that, you know, saying anything that could be construed as threatening is good because I'll never threaten anybody unless they come at me first.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a reactionist. I react to what's being said to me.
Yeah, exactly. So but I know I really honestly didn't you know, I didn't lose sleep over that, you know, you felt some type of way and I've got no hard feelings towards you. So
that's why it's all good. But,
exactly.
But going back to that, I knew what it was because when you went over there, Father Chol, you know what I mean, he was trying to fucking what he's trying to do is when he sees people come over my channel, he wants to bring them over there and just give them reasons to peel away. So I saw what he did. But at the end of the day, I'll be honest, bro. I'm 51. You're 23, right?
Yeah.
Dude, listen, I got a 23-year-old and a 26-year-old. So I listen, at the end of the day, the last thing I want to fucking do is sitting there arguing, having beef with someone as young as my youngest son. I'm being honest with you, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you get older than me, and so if anything, I'm not a bully. If you ever notice, I always, whenever someone wants to extend their hand, I'll extend it and let beef just lay. So I even saw right there, I was like, this is fucking stupid shit. Now I'm seeing you over there with Father Cho. Bro, I got your fucking back. My channel's got your back. All of them's got your fucking back. And listen, we're actually we have a caravan on its way to fucking Dr. Dave's. I'm not gonna say what's but listen, I guarantee you nobody doubts me because I already made that shit happen with Dr. Dave. And the moment I find out where the fucking fraud control is, bro, I'm telling you, as soon as somebody locates his house there in Canada, boom, we'll be there within 72 fucking hours filming that bitch.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And man, I got everybody's back in this community, you know, really, man. No hard feelings towards you, man. And I'm glad that you're doing good work to expose these people because honestly, I don't think that the market for exposing the fat idiots that make fun of us is as big as the police, but it's important work nonetheless. Yeah. So I'm glad that you're doing it. I see we got Manuel Mata in the house. Manuel, thanks for joining us, brother. I'm always seeing your live streams, and I really hope one day we can. Yeah, really hope one day we can get out there and do some work. What's your petition about?
I'm gonna give you the link right now, dude. I got a petition up on Fraud Control right now. I got all my channels going over there. I'm gonna send it to you right now. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. In the meantime, can you send that in the private chat, Vegas Valley, so I can get it and link it? And...
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
well, you guys are,
man. What's going on?
Well, you guys are digging that up, man. I'll hop in here. I just discovered you not long ago, Vegas Valley. I saw a couple of your videos, man. You're doing good work. Hey, you all were talking about, I had to jump in here when you started talking about it. We're talking about the Department of Child Services sort of coming in an angle, right?
Well, no, it wasn't child. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Well,
that's what was it? What was it? Yeah, he's talking about you.
Oh, no, what it was family court. I was trying to get custody of my child. I didn't, because when in New York, if you ain't with your girl, she automatically gets fucking custody of the kid, and you get visitation twice a week. Yeah, that's how it is. But listen, I don't live in New York. I live out in Vegas. So what was happening? Like I said, I'm gonna put the fucking letters up today, just to expose these fat fucks. I mean, as if I'm just gonna go up to some judge for no reason. But what was happening was, my kids wanted to move out here to Vegas with me because, I mean, they see how I'm living, and I'm not trying to belittle my baby's mom, but she's not as financially. You know what I mean? And she's in some little fucking town out there in New York, but there was some abuse going on. Not with her, but with some dude that was over there. My kids were sending these letters. I'm telling you, I'm gonna put the fucking letter up there for the world to read. And I just want anybody to tell me How long would you sit there and read those letters? So what I was doing, I was taking the letters and I kept going to family court saying, look what's going on. And they wouldn't do shit. I said, yo, fuck y'all. I just had one of my relatives show up one day, grab both my kids, put them on a plane, and fly them out here. And now I'm going back and forth with New York. It's like a shell game. They're looking for my kids. I'm sending them to Kelly.
Right.
I'm moving them around. And at
Well,
the
hey,
same
look, I
time,
wasn't trying to get personal in your situation. What I was going to point out, man, is I'll be working on my videos on this next week. I got to finish with the story I'm on now, but I've got some new video coming out because of this. The Department of Child Services are now starting to get involved. I don't know. They might have been doing this forever, but with me personally, they just started getting involved to try to shut us down. I believe it's retaliation effort, but we received a Department of Child Services visit, and it ain't our first one, buddy. You know what I mean? False allegations go around like crazy in our family. And but what's happening recently, we did I'm going to throw my quote fingers here, an audit on the Department of Child Services regional agency for this area. And short period of time after that, we're getting a knock on the door from Department of Child Services wanting to ask us some questions. And I'll tell you what it was about. A picture that I published on all my social media platforms of me hanging out with the kid. That's it. Yeah. And there was my Claritin, my girlfriend's Claritin medication, like sitting on a nightstand. And these idiots are going to pretend, and it's in a child safe container, and I'm in the room with him. I'm 45 years old. You know what I mean? I'm literally in a still picture with this kid. So these idiots are going to try to pretend that they have the ability to open and screen in an investigation on that. Like, it's crazy. And I guarantee you guys.
Public safety, can you give me excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt. Vegas, can you make sure you check private chat? I got to get out of here, but can you check private? That's my number. Call me tonight. I'm debating if I'm going to go the Phoenix route or the LA route. I just left Phoenix. I don't want to go that route. I'd rather go through, the Vegas route. I'd rather go through Vegas. Yeah. Give me a call tonight if you can.
I will.
Drive safe, Joe.
Right,
yeah, man. Take care, Joe. Cool. Appreciate seeing you, buddy.
All right, Sam. Y'all guys busy.
Later.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I hate to cut out early. I gotta eat something real quick and
all right, man.
I just wanted to point that out, though, guys. We all need to be aware and watch out because, these idiots are willing to take the angle of attacking our kids for, exposing what's going on. And that's not cool. So if you got family court stuff going on, anyone in this community has got family court stuff going on, be wary, and be careful because I promise you guys that agency is very well connected with the same entities that we're working on here, and they are being utilized.
Don't ever answer the questions when they come
That's
around.
Right.
It's actually interesting for public safety because I'm working on a story right now out of Terre Haute, and this DCS call got made on these people saying that his son was being eaten by, and I'm serious about this, by mice. So the mice are just eating this guy's son, according to this phone call. It was totally bogus. DCS shows up at this guy's house, and he tells him to kick rocks. He's like, look, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Go ahead and kick rocks. Get out of here. So these guys call the police, and the police come into this dude's house. They've got eyes on the kids. But instead of, just assessing that, okay, we came into the house without a warrant, we had no legal right to be here, and the kids are not being eaten by mice, let's just leave. Instead of doing that, they grab the guy, tackle him to the ground, take his gun off of him, push his pregnant wife. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Right.
These DCS people will call guys with guns to do the most low things to you and your family, but they're only there to help, right? They're just there to provide a service to the children.
Oh, and then, after they do that shit, then they kidnap your kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and put them with somebody who's literally only taking them for a monthly paycheck.
Or they put them with someone who the courts have been keeping the kid from for years and years and years. Like they'll choose a family member and then they don't do a background check because they're,
Hey, CH. I challenge. Okay, so when I had that New York shit, I had 3 cases in 3 different counties. New York City, I had one up in Wayne County, and then I had one in Rochester, Monroe County. I had 3 different fuckers coming at me, right? I smashed them all. But regarding the upstate New York ones with the judges, I challenge anybody out there to tell me what I got convicted of. You know why? Because both those counties, all that shit got dismissed. Hey, check this out. My lawyer was so badass that I didn't even have to go back. It ain't even like I had to go back to see the shit dismissed. Both DAs in both counties, at the end of the day, they said, we're not even filing. So hey, if anybody fraud control, go get the conviction. Hey, CH, send me. A matter of fact, you know what? There's one thing that I think you probably understand. I always talk about this in my group. In prison, there's honor amongst us. What I mean is, if I'm walking the yard, right, and I'll say I just met you, and I'm like, oh, this dude looks fucking cool, man. You know, got a good vibe. We're talking. It sounds cool. But I really don't know you. I just met you, and so when I get back to the dorm or the block, yeah, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna call my baby mom and say, hey, do me a favor, run his DIN number real quick. I just want to verify that what he said he's in here for, he is, and that's some chump shit. So if my baby mom says, yeah, he's there for robbery, perfect. I got a cool homie. She says, yo, he's there around some funny shit. Oh, I can't see him walking the yard. You know what I'm saying, CH? So what I'm saying is, I'm gonna send you just make sure I get your email. I'm gonna send my fucking info to you because then you sit up, you look at my rap sheet, bro, and then you tell the world if there's anything funny on my shit that anybody should worry about. Or you know what I'm saying?
I had a quick question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
They start regulating your water out there in Vegas yet?
Man, he always do that shit. You know, certain hours of the day we can water and stuff. Hey, I like you saying though, film at 5-0. I'm a 5-time convicted felon, bro. And I say that. I got 5 felonies. And fraud control and Dr. Dave like, oh my God, he brags. I'm not bragging. But the thing is, I just corrected him because they say, oh, you're a felon. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm a 5-time convicted felon.
Yeah.
Don't cheat me out of any one of those.
And honestly, when people say, you know, oh, don't hang out with him, he's a felon. I'm a felon for selling somebody a plant. So when the state deems somebody a felon, I usually just kind of take it with a grain of salt and say, okay, well, I'll be the judge of this person because the state is terrible.
Well, another thing that
we've got the email for me in my about page, and if you could email that to me, I've got, you know, I'm not gonna take any sides. I'll do it objectively as it is. You know that.
So look at it.
Absolutely, I'll definitely take a look.
And I'm gonna tell you something. And I want you to tell me. I'm saying this in front of everybody. What I want you to look for, because it is true and it's on that motherfucking record. I did the time twice.
Joseph Boyd saying you just admitted to kidnapping on video.
Ooh.
What is that shit?
I don't know. Hey, but listen, two of my charges, my felonies, check them out, CH. 2 of them I went to prison for was criminal contempt because I refused to testify against my family. The first time I did 18 months, and then the next time I did 3 years straight. So I did almost 4.5 years of my fucking life in prison on 2 separate bids because I didn't fucking rat. And that's in there. So I'm telling you what to look for. You know what I mean? If I'm lying, just call me out in front of millions of people.
Yeah.
That's the Fifth Amendment we have, right?
Absolutely will. And Joseph Boyd saying felon filming, your wife had custody. Okay, so felon filming wasn't the one who said that. But if they're your kids, I don't care what a state court rules, they're your kids. So
exactly.
I don't know. I really don't know what to say to that other than like, just because the courts say you can't see your kids, that doesn't make it right. You know, that doesn't make you a kidnapper for wanting to see your children.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So I really, and I've never been charged with it. So I don't have a beef in this fight. I'm just saying it's like, you know, that's the way it really is. But and I
fight for children. And you want to know something, CH? I didn't mean to cut you off, but if you look at my catalog of videos, I did a Planned Parenthood one. Everybody in the world knows that I'm pro-life. And then so today when I woke up, I'm like, holy shit, beautiful day in America. But look, I did a fucking Planned Parenthood. They got the women over there. Dude, these women were crazy. They're threatening to kick my ass and everything. I was going gangster with them. A girl had to jump out of her truck and almost get in a fight. But I'm saying, but look, because if you look at my videos, I'm over there running up on the cops when they're messing with a homeless guy or just some mentally retarded guy. You know, the vulnerable. So yeah. I'm not over there fucking with people who have it good. I'm just protecting the vulnerable and the weak. You know what I mean? That can't do it themselves, bro. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and that's good, man. That's what I like to see. But all right, Vegas, I'm going to let you run, man. You said you need to eat, but I'm going to see you over on your panel later on. You can count on me being there. So I'll see you over there, brother. All right.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for having me on. Everybody, God bless you. Y'all have a good day. Peace out.
Likewise.
Have a good one, Vegas Valley.
Take it
Thank
easy.
Man, I tell you another thing we got to consider, guys, like something that's been going on around the troll community. They don't mind at all jumping on our records and trying to, make us look bad with our public records. We do the same thing when we do investigatory work on stuff we're doing. However, the difference is that we know how to read that public record. We know how to read a person's record, and we know we can understand whenever something's been dismissed or a plea bargained or something like that. These guys run with things that you're not charged for too. The trolls do, like things that you got dismissed. That could be so simple as nothing more than just some idiot made an allegation, like one of them could have done it. They can make an allegation against you. You get to go to court, clear your good name, and then those idiots are going in there not knowing how to read it, and then they're publishing non-factual things, accusing you again, even though you've been cleared, because it still shows on your public record, but they don't know how to read that the charges are either dismissed or you did a different situation than what they were accusing you of. I think that's important to notice and realize.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And not only that, I mean, it's important to realize that even if you're not guilty, I mean, very few people will take it to trial in the fear that the state will frame them and make them look guilty. So they'd rather just plead guilty to a lesser charge and get convicted rather than try to clear their good name in trial. But anyways,
Absolutely.
I want to extend a invitation to Durand Meow. Durand, would you come up here, man? The financial terrorist. I'd like to speak to you about things. Make sure to have
Craig, I gotta hop out, brother. I'm getting ready to go on. That premiere I got dropping it here shortly, so I want to hop off here unless you need me for anything. But I wanted to get in here and make those couple points while I was here, and I wanted to make the community aware that child services being, getting involved in doing that kind of stuff. We gotta watch each other's backs.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, all right, though, public safety. Hope your premiere does well, brother. And stay tuned tomorrow. Me and For Public Safety will be going live to cover a crazy story out of Indiana that's been going on. So you guys are going to want to stay tuned to that. I know I've been doing a lot of lives. They're going to kind of slow down here soon, but tomorrow is going to be a big one. So we want to make sure that we tune in for that.
That's right. I think me and Craig are going to do a real good job with this interview. And it is a police officer that's been he was charged with some pretty crazy stuff, man. And that's what Craig and I are doing that panel on. And Craig, if you don't mind, can you maybe have somebody drop the link to those videos that I posted so they know what it's about?
Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll get that. I mean, even if you want to drop the link after you hop out of here.
Yeah, I can do that.
That sounds good. And
there you go.
People get to see him, but I don't know if Durand is still in the stream. I'd like him to come up here though, and maybe he's fixing his abundance of hair so that it looks good for the camera. I don't know. Maybe
you got the same thing going on, Craig. So
yeah, my hair used to be that big, but geez,
no, you got some great hair, brother. And I'm not flirting with you. I'm just saying you got a healthy head of hair, man. I'm jealous.
Thank you for clarifying. All right,
hey guys, I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah, thanks, man. We'll talk
to
you
later. Thank you. Bye.
Later. All right,
always nice.
Yeah, all right. Durand is up here. I wanted to talk to Durand because he made an interesting comment. Durand, how's it going today, man?
Yo, what's up, man?
Man, I'm really I've not read into
some
this
amazing
Supreme Court
hair.
ruling. Well, thank you, Fallon Filming 50. But I haven't really read into the Supreme Court ruling. Are you familiar with it more? Kind of, have you looked into it a little bit?
Yeah, I haven't read the full brief, but I've been reading up on what it meant, because when you at the surface, when you say they're talking about Miranda rights, you're like, oh shit, what are they trying to do? But basically, the case that they were adjudicating was a man had confessed to a crime. He hadn't been read his Miranda rights. It went to trial. That evidence was presented, even though he wasn't read his Miranda rights, but he was acquitted. And then he tried to also get compensatory damages or further compensation after being acquitted. And they're saying, well, that's bullshit. even though you weren't read your Miranda rights, you don't necessarily have a right to know your rights. So you can't also go after the state to get damages if there was no harm done to you. Like I guess his harm was probably, he was probably in prison, like awaiting trial, or maybe I don't know what I can't remember what the time was, but
even if he wasn't imprisoned,
he was still put in a cage at some point.
Yeah, and probably forced to pay bail. So
yeah.
So that's a lot of stuff. And man, that is an interesting thing that people bring up. Like, and when I was a constitutionalist, which was about 3 years ago, I was very interested in the whole Miranda rights thing and your right to know your rights. And I just haven't actually, like, in my personal opinion, I don't get where the Supreme Court ever found that the Miranda rights was a constitutional right, like that you have a right to know your rights. That's something that I've never agreed with. Now, I really don't agree with most of the Supreme Court's understanding of the Constitution, but it seemed in that situation that they were just kind of conjuring up this this rule that you have to be read your Miranda rights. In my opinion, it should almost be kind of not a thing, because it's like people expect to be told what their rights are when they're getting arrested. You should know what your rights are far before then.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't know what your rights are,
the question.
Yeah, exactly. You should never answer the question in the first place, because most of the time they'll only put you in handcuffs after you've answered a few questions and they've gotten what they've wanted anyways, and then they'll just re-ask the same questions. But yeah, why isn't it taught in school? It was taught in my school, Blue Blaze. Now, they didn't actually tell me exactly what they meant, or if they did, they'd be like, yeah, well, it means, like, you know, you've got the freedom of speech, but if you say these words, you know, you're kind of pushing it a little bit much, you know. Like, your speech is a little bit too free if you threaten somebody. And it's like, I don't understand that at all. I think free speech is just exactly that, unrestricted speech.
Public schools are funded by the government, so they teach you how to obey.
Exactly.
That's what they're doing.
Exactly. They teach you how to intake and then regurgitate information. So, but I can only
just go back to sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Whatever happened there?
Yeah, and I mean, people would be like, well, you know, could you imagine people going around getting threatened? People make threats all the time, and they don't get they don't get in trouble for it. They don't even get charged with a crime of threatening. So, you know, it's not really, nothing's going to change. But yeah, Manuel, I assume you're just hearing the part where I said I'd like to work with you sometime. So yeah, definitely, man. We'll have to link up when I'm able to leave state. I did see a question in the chat asking if I was ever going to do audits outside of Indiana, and I am going to do audits outside of Indiana as soon as my masters in Terre Haute say that I'm allowed to, because right now I am.
Yeah, it's hard to travel when you're restricted.
yeah, no doubt. So if I leave the state and it's recorded, I mean, God forbid it's recorded, then I am going to.
You're going to jail.
Yeah, I'm going to jail. So I'm not planning on leaving the state until they allow me to. John Reese is up. This is great. You know, I love this panel already.
Could you get permission from your PO to travel, or you just don't even want to press it?
Yeah, no, I've been asking every time that I go and see him, and
he's like, let me stare at your dick while you pee. No, you can't go anywhere.
He actually asked another dude to do it. So we've got one dude that kind of tells me what I can and can't do, and then another dude who
stares at your dick.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, no, I'd love to see that, Manuel. I'll definitely cover your story, bro. I mean, I know that you weren't doing anything wrong, so please, like, if you
18
can.
pages. Jesus.
18 pages. I'm sure that I'm sure they know who he is, and they were really trying to get him, because he does work all the time out there in Fort Worth in the Texas area. He's right out there with Caroline in Fort Worth. Shout her out as well. Like both of those two, they're both great auditors. So, but how long do I got on probation? I got another 2 years formally, but hopefully we can kind of get that reduced. Sometimes lawyers have ways to work magic. So, but John Reese, man, how's it going with you today? What you been up to?
Right, well, thanks, Craig. How are we all?
I'm doing good, man. What's it like in the land down under today?
Well, it's morning at the moment, so it's a bit cold. We're in winter at the moment down here, so but it's beautiful, which is nice. So yeah, it's good. I just thought I'd call in and have a quick chat because it's basically you guys have been talking about the court system so far today. And obviously I know that Craig, unfortunately, you're currently facing charges for voluntarily selling products to other human beings.
Yes. Yeah.
And
well, actually, I'm not facing those charges currently. I'm fighting a charge for a violation of the probation that was a result of those charges, and then we've got another one that is carrying a police scanner. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can, trust me, dude. The state cannot have you listening,
even though you're media.
Yeah,
you were totally legal in doing so.
Right.
Yeah, I was totally allowed to do it. Like they were, dude.
And you were putting stuff before they knew that.
Dude, that was like, yeah, I was putting cuts before they knew. I'm like, most people watching will not have seen that video unless they came to my channel from Lackluster, because it's only been viewed by like 8,000 people on this channel.
The craziest one. I mean, they come at you with guns, dude. It's fucking
guns.
Do your job. Do your job.
I need to re-edit that video because, dude, I had it in like, the editing is so piss poor. Like, if Lackluster hadn't covered it, that story would have never gotten attention because it was bad. But now I could do a much better job. But no, yeah, dude, they're pretty. I mean, they like were yelling at me for everything. They were like, well, one, you were approaching a police scene, and I was like, okay, that's not a crime. And then they were like, well, you're parked in the road. Okay, that's not a crime. And then they're like, so yeah, and they've got me in handcuffs the whole time. And so they're like looking for reasons to like why they have me in handcuffs. And so they start with the flashlights in my car, and they're like, oh yeah, you got a police scanner. Do you know that's illegal, bud? And I was like, no, because I really had no clue about the law. But it turns out after reading the law, I was completely within the IC code. I was allowed to do it according to the IC code, but
even the follow-up complaint is pretty tight too. That the way you talk, that guy's great with his legal counsel behind him.
Oh God, yeah, I don't remember what his name is, but like if you've ever seen Lord of the Rings, like the king of Rohan is like this. He's got this little slimy green guy whispering in his ear. And, the king, like, does whatever he says. And so that's kind of what I equated it to. He's got his little slimy little – oh, God. Those guys are just –
Did you ever identify that seventh over cop?
His name is actually Ty something. Like, I had a person that's out of the Clinton area identify him after seeing the video, but I just decided it wasn't a big deal to post it online because – they were already getting so much attention. But anyways, I cut John completely off there. John, what did you have to say about the court system, man?
Oh, no problem at all. So basically what I was going to say is I wanted to talk about this considering that I watched a DirectD video this week where he was convicted in court for some victimless act of filming some police. And it's a common thing that I see amongst the people who you're talking about earlier who are like calling out frauditors in their opinion, where they like hang your criminal record on you as though having a criminal record is somehow a bad thing, especially for victimless acts. And so one of the most common things I see with statists is the opinion that courts are fair and impartial.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I wanted to do was take a couple of minutes to gut that ridiculous assertion that courts are fair and impartial. So what we have is we have the judge, right? The judge is paid by the state. The judge represents the state. Right there, that is completely and utterly ripping apart the notion that courts can be fair and impartial when you have the person who's judging the case represent the people who are bringing the case, which is the state. Because the prosecutor is paid by the state and represents the state.
Yeah.
You then have the cops who are then testifying against you, who are paid for by the state and represent the state. So when you enter one of these star chambers, also called kangaroo courts, also called courts in America or Australia or Great Britain, the prosecutor, the judge, and the police officer all are paid for and represent the state against you. If you cannot see that this is a scam off the bat, I don't really know what to tell you. This is like turning up to, say, American football, right? And the referees or umpires, whatever you call them, all are wearing the opposite team's jersey and are on the opposite team's payroll.
Man, that's a good analogy. I've never heard that before, but yeah, that's definitely something. Mike, we're getting a lot of feedback, man. That's why I featured you in the first place. I don't know what's going on. Are you driving right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me,
What'd you have to say, man?
let me shut the Bluetooth off on the truck.
Okay. Yeah. Mike Oxlong is he's a channel member, and he's actually a friend of mine. We've met up a time or two. So and he's got a lot of ideas. But have you been listening in on what we've I think he's still here. Have you been listening into what we've been talking about, Mike?
I have. Where do you want to start?
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Do you have anything that you particularly want to talk about?
Yeah. You don't mind if I touch on that CPS thing, do you? Simply because people just have a gross misunderstanding of how they work, and so many people just get their lives wrecked because of them. So if it can help somebody out, that's my only intention there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I had a run-in with CPS about 3 years ago. My ex-wife called, maybe 4 years ago, unbeknownst to me or whatever. We were in the middle of a custody dispute, and they knocked on my door. The lady did, and she practically tried to force her way into my house. She was by herself. I pushed her back, and she's like a robot. All she could say was, "I need to come in." And I said, "Lady, stop. I'm working 12-hour midnights. I don't need your shit right now. You don't need to come in. You want to come in." They want to come in and find a cat hair, a dog hair, something so they can open a chins case. They don't work on probable cause. They work on basically putting the fear of God in people and hope they cooperate. So when a CPS agent says, "I'll just come back with deputies," this is exactly what she told me. And I said, "Ma'am, you can bring deputies, state police, you can bring the National Guard if you want. I don't give a shit. You're not coming in my house. I don't care who you are, what division you work for. I still have Fourth Amendment rights to this." And I gave her my attorney's phone number, and I said, "Please call such and such, and schedule a time. We can meet in your office if it's that important." She went out to her car as I went back to bed and literally called me and repeated the same thing. And I said, "Bye." And so that was the last I heard of it. 60 days later, I get a letter in the mail. Their investigation's complete. Had I let them in the house, though, it would have been a shit show.
Oh yeah, I guarantee it, man. I guarantee it. And that's why you just never let anybody in your house at all that works for the government. So
yeah, the moral of that story is, unless they have a court order or a judge issues a court order saying this is what you do, that's the only rule of law you have to follow. That's it.
Yeah, and it's got to be a warrant. It's got to be a warrant based upon probable cause. It can't just be an order, because then they'd have like the power to just say, "Well, we order that you let cops into your house because of any reason at all." It's got to be upon probable cause of a crime being committed. So
yeah, it's more of a family law. It's not so much a crime as it is. They can subpoena you to court, but what they want to do is get you to voluntarily follow a program or whatever. And once they get you hooked on that treble hook to volunteer for something, you're fucked, because then you have to pretty much have a judge sign it, and then you're disobeying a court order. So just tell people, until they present you with a court order, period, no ifs, ands, and buts. It's just like what you do when the cops threaten and bully you and stuff like that. It's the same tactic.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Mike, thanks for talking about that. Now, I want to go over a few things that just crossed my mind. It really wouldn't be a good, successful live stream in this community if we didn't take a moment to appreciate the man, the myth, the legend, somebody that everybody in the auditing community looks up to and aspires to be, and that is the legend that is Elite Laws. So, Mike, I'm actually going to mute you because we're getting a lot of the driving feedback. But thanks for coming up, man. We're going to go. I want to show you guys this video here because this is, guys, let me just be honest with you. This is my hero. We're going to show you real quick.
I've admitted I'm a previous murderer, rapist. I'm a previous child molester. I'm the worst person ever. I used to beat my own mom. My dad's dead. I killed him. I'm the worst. I tortured small animals. I'm the worst person ever. I'm a cutter. I cut myself. I take tons of methamphetamines. I'm a drug addict. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a rapist.
And really, Chili is being far too humble there, saying that he's the worst person in the world. Far too humble. But really, and then I want to address this comment that we've got up on the stream. That's just a little funny thing that I like to show. But is the scanner not made illegal by 35-44.1-2-7? So let's look at that code real quick, Joseph Boyd. I don't know what side of the spectrum Joseph is actually sides on. Joseph can come up here if he wants to, and he can talk about it with me. So, Joseph, I've got the StreamYard link in the chat, Joseph, if you want to hop up and defend your point that it's made illegal. We can look at the code here. I've got it up, and we can go over it, and we can discuss why it's not illegal for a scanner to be possessed. So, I don't know. Okay, so we can see it there. So this is let's see. So this is Indiana Code Title 35. Criminal Law 35-44-1-2-7, and it says Section 7. And it's Section 7 because that's the section of the code. That's what 1-7 is. Possesses a police radio. Okay, so a person who knowingly or intentionally possesses a police radio transmits over a frequency assigned for police emergency purposes, or possesses or uses a police radio or a police radio mobile application. And then it says, while committing a crime, to further the commission of a crime, or to avoid detection by a law enforcement agency. So neither of those things was I doing, because I got charged with one charge, which was violation of this code. I was not trying to further the commission of any crime, because there's no crime being committed. They were literally showing up to a scene to arrest somebody who was wanted on a warrant. She wasn't actually actively committing a crime. And then, or to avoid detection by a law enforcement agency, which I was clearly not doing. I was seeking out law enforcement to record what they were doing and to disseminate the information of what they were doing to the public. Also, Section 7.1 says possesses a police radio. I had a police scanner, not a police radio. And then it says transmits over a frequency, and police scanners do not transmit. They can only pick up what the police are saying. But then even if I did have a police, it says that I'd be exempt if I was using or possessing a police radio during the normal course of my lawful business, which I was doing. And then Section 7, or Section 8, you cannot be held in contempt of Section 1A1 if you are a person who is regularly engaged in news gathering activities. So I've really got a solid case here. I'm about to go into this courtroom with no lawyer against a prosecutor, and I'm just going to put her to shame, really. She should drop the charges beforehand.
That's a bad idea, dude.
I'm going to have to, dude, because really I don't have the money for a lawyer on on this case. I've got it. I had to pay it off for the probation violation. That was the more serious case. But either way, I mean, like, it is what it is. I really don't see how they could convict me because it literally spells out what you can do and what you can't do. And I've got like 5 different courses of defense if they prove 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of them wrong.
There's just a lot of procedure within the court that the judge is going to be like, well, what the fuck what can't you just get a public defender?
Oh, I could, but dude, the public defenders in Terre Haute, they're like, look, buddy, I ain't gonna try to fight this case. You better
Really?
please, dude. I swear to God, public defenders that take stuff to trial will leave out the most important information to your case and just try to like softball the prosecutor until the prosecutor wins. Like, I seriously cannot say enough that it's corrupt. Like, the lady who came up to me to be my public defender was a former prosecutor for that county. So, yeah, and she, like, comes over to me and she's like, so I'm a public defender, and the first thing I'm good. Like, I was like, go ahead. Like, and she was shocked. I was like, yeah, keep it moving. Because I just don't got any time for them, man. They're public workers themselves. And, yeah, it never works out. Like, I guess I could ask my lawyer that's representing me to do it and get on a payment plan, but I just feel like the case is so solid against them that the only reason they're trying to elongate it is so that I can't file civil litigation in the time necessary. Yeah, but even so, it's a violation of my First Amendment, as far as I'm concerned. So I really have 2 years to file litigation after it happened.
You have to brush up and watch Will Hunting a couple times.
I honestly haven't even seen that movie, but
he defends himself and he gets out of all these like assault charges and shit by mentioning civil property rights from like 1660s and like all this like old legal shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm really just gonna go up in there, man. I mean, I'm gonna get the suit and everything so I look real presentable, but I just don't have, like, and the court is going on the 1st of next month, so it's gonna be relatively soon. I don't know if that's gonna be another kind of just like hearing to elongate the trial, but nonetheless, it's going to happen. So I'm going to have to give you guys an update on it because that's one of our biggest deals right there. We were detained until they could find a crime. You know, like what the hell is going on? And it's not like they suspected that I had a police scanner. It was
right.
Yeah.
Well, they could say that they suspected you because of the call you made.
Yeah, and if they did, I'd be like, well, how do you know that it's a radio or a scanner? Because and it's like it's verifiably different things. Because I'm gonna get if and when the cops do come to trial, I'm gonna be like, do you remember the look of the scanner, like how it looked? And if they say no, if they say they don't remember it, then I'll just be like, okay, then what the fuck is this case about? Like what are we here for if you don't even remember seeing the scanner? Like I'm just gonna do them all types of ways. So hopefully it goes well. And if it doesn't, a Class A misdemeanor in Terre Haute is like getting getting charged with a pedestrian violation. So you're not gonna get in big trouble there.
So you plan on defending yourself on that one?
Yeah, I've got to. Can't trust government workers. And
yeah, take heed to what DirectD is going through. There's going to be certain processes if the judge tries to block you from representing yourself.
No, in Indiana, it's normal for people to go pro se and represent themselves. I think that he ran into because I've already talked to the judge about it. I was like, yeah, like I'm just looking to represent myself.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, and he was like, okay. He's like, you understand that kind of means like, like these people know what to do, and you really haven't done this before. I was like, yeah, man, I understand. Like, I guess I was like, if they want to take it to a bench trial, we can take it to a bench trial. I was like, but honestly, I'm not really worried about trying to have a public defender come in and defend the state in my stead. Like, I really don't care for that. because that's really what's going on. Yeah, JTL actually does bring up a very valid option. JTL says Chili is available for a retainer.
Retainer.
I wonder. I think he charged.
Bring your trifold into court.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is, even if they like tried to like take it and rip it up, it's actually indestructible.
Indestructible. It can't be.
Yeah. So yeah, I could bring that bad boy into court with me, and everything would be fine. So why would you do that?
Give him power of attorney.
Yeah, no, Ryan does have a good point. Why would I ever even try to defend myself when I could just let Chili handle the whole deal? But to be honest, though, in his last live or his last premiere, he grouped me in with those numbskulls at Lackluster and James Freeman, and I got to admit I was offended. You know, that's pretty bad company to be in. Oh man, I was so happy when he grouped me in with those two. I was like, well, if he really sees me on that same scale, I'm doing something right. But no, yeah, he definitely said he regrets ever helping me, or yeah, that was what he said. He regrets ever trying to help me. So, and I regret him ever trying to help me as well. So that just makes two of us. I don't even see what the problem is. As a matter of fact, I'm convinced that he should just let bygones be bygones. Ryan, though, I always do bring a wingman into court. We've got the always faithful and trusty Ty, so he's coming into court. He was there last time, and man, I'm just loving it. Like even in my live stream,
put Ty on the stand. You got to put Ty on the stand. Get him talking.
Oh, dude, if I asked Ty a question on the stand, he would look at me and say, "I don't answer questions," because actually, like I'm telling you, he doesn't do it, man. He's not talking. So that's what that would be. But like really, I can't wait till that court date. Like I don't mean to say that I'm gonna have fun with it, but I'm gonna have fun with it. Like win or lose, I'm gonna have a great story if I lose, because they will have just proven themselves as a kangaroo court that they have no regard for the law at all. But
it may be good if you represent yourself in this lower court ruling, even though it's a misdemeanor, you could pay for an appeal, which would be more worth your while, because then you would know what the court's going to do or what the prosecutor wants to do under appeal. But I don't know why you would appeal a misdemeanor, but just for
I would actually appeal it, because I just think it's
for principle.
Yeah, and I don't think it would like cost too much money to appeal it. I don't know how much, if it does cost you money to appeal, but we'll figure it out nonetheless. And if it does go to an appellate court, I will have money at that point to pay for an attorney. But it's just right now it's not a reality. And really, if I do, I want an attorney from out of town, because all the attorneys in Terre Haute, like, they're just. And, you know, except for my attorney is the best, but they're all buddy with the prosecutors and all that. So why do you think that judge?
John, do you consider yourself kind of like Craig and I as anarchist? Or do you consider yourself an anarchist?
Yes. So I'm an anarchist. I use the term voluntarist a lot, because it's basically the same thing. All human interaction should be voluntary, free of force, violence, and coercion.
Do you think using the term anarchist alienates people?
I think that, I'll give you an example, right? So when Craig was on that show where they were just yelling at him and not allowing him to even have a single word, basically, right? They kept on bringing up The Purge, right? Which is what mainstream media and propagandists like to say that a free society would be like, which of course is a completely absurd notion, right? If we look at the statistics of how many people today commit violent crimes or victim-based crimes, it's a tiny minority of people, right? Like I think it's like 1 or 2 in 1,000 actually commit victim-based crimes. So the belief that we'd suddenly have a society where we're just going around murdering and raping and pillaging and killing is like, that's a completely absurd thing. So I think that the word anarchist has been corrupted deliberately by governments and mainstream media to normal people to make them not want to believe that they own themselves, and to obviously get into the cult that is government. So yeah, I do believe that it's been corrupted, because the word anarchy just means no rulers, no masters, no rulers, no gods, right? It just means you own yourself, basically, right?
Yeah, and I like the word because I think it can reinforce the effectiveness of the rhetoric that like is against us. What sets our ideals apart? It forces certain questions. Like I'm for anarchy. Okay, well, what does that mean to live without rule? Or what kind of powers are liberating or oppressive? Or like what hierarchy is acceptable? And then you just move into what you just said. Like it's not the purge; it's a belief in voluntary at all times.
Correct. And one of my Australian friends this week did a podcast where they were talking and discussing like ANCOM and socialist and CAP, right? And this is a topic that comes up a lot too. Within that is what kind of economic systems would come up in a voluntarist society. And people like, are you an ANCAP? I'm like, well, personally, I want to be able to, and I call capitalism the purest definition of the word, which is free and voluntary trade, right? Between consenting individuals, not anything to do with the state, which is disgusting corporatism, right? But it's like, I don't care how you define the word so much as I'm going to say I'm an anarchist who believes in free and voluntary trade. And I think that I've seen this a lot with the socialist side and the communist side is, and it's a big issue, I think, with their ideology is I don't have an issue with anarcho-communism or anarcho-socialism, provided that it's voluntary. So one of my friends online was an anarcho-communist, but he believed that he wanted a commune where he would then trade with me as an anarcho-capitalist, but he would trade in the goods and services that he wants, and I trade for some form of money, right? And I think that that's a big thing with even the anarchist community is the discussions around like an economic system. And I just wanted to bring it to economics real quick because I was listening to the podcast, is we need to understand that in a free society, there'd be multiple economic systems. People would wish to barter. People would wish to live in communes. People would wish to trade for profit, which is what personally I would do. I'd voluntarily trade for gold or silver or whatever, right? Like in terms of as a currency. I think that we need to do a better job as a community of actually realizing you have the right to trade with other humans in any way you see fit, provided it is voluntary.
Yeah, and I really like the economics of anarchism or voluntarism, because really it's like, and this kind of goes back to Ludwig von Mises. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the guy, but he basically came up with this theory that humans act based off of basically it's all incentive based. And the whole idea of like communism is, you provide a good and then you just throw it into this one pot and then we kind of distribute it evenly and all that. And it's like, if that's the case, I don't really even know if I want to produce a whole lot, because I'm going to get it. There's just no incentive to produce. Like the profit motive is what drives people to produce more. And then that excess production helps more people get the goods that they're producing. And I'm pretty awful at explaining it, I think, especially to someone who isn't well versed in it. But I mean, when people say anarcho-communism, I always kind of ask them, well, okay, who's going to be there to make sure that everybody complies with the communism?
I think
you have to have a ruler.
You have to have some form of government, whether that be democratic or a dictator or something.
Representative, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some form of coercion there, because try to say it's anarcho-communism, and I live in the place where there's an anarcho-communist system, and it's still a system because I'm going to be forced to do something. So I think anarchy, and I don't care how you say it, I just think it should be said anarchy, because anarcho-communism, in my opinion, is kind of like what do they call it? An oxymoron. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, John. I think you've read a lot about it, probably a lot more than I have. So you could probably
No.
me to that.
You're
There needs to be a political decision-making institution, but as long as you as an individual are not constrained to go along with that group decision, and you freely choose to do so, that's anarchy. Whether it's communism, democracy, socialism, some sort of other representative hierarchy, as long as you're free to say, "Oh, I don't fucking like Terre Haute. I'm moving over to, I'm going to Chicago where I like the rules of that community," and you can freely travel. It's just what it is, and that's kind of you call it freedom.
I agree with what Craig said and what you just said then too, is that it's voluntary is the main thing. So I've debated a lot of anarcho-communists who will use violence up to including murdering me if I decide to voluntarily trade for profit, which means they're not anarchists at all, right? You're just a weird statist who's trying to lap behind the term anarchist, right? My friend who I had, he believed he wanted to personally live in a commune, right? As a voluntarist, he wanted to personally live in a commune and then trade with capitalists, right, in a voluntary commune setting, which to me is it's a bit of a weird kind of capitalist. But I'm like, can I trade for profit? He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, can I own private property? He's like, yep. I go, can I own the means of production? He's like, yep. I'm like, okay, well, I've got no moral qualms with you whatsoever, right? You trade however you want to trade. If you want to trade in chickens, be my guest, right? So I think that I've seen it a lot in stuff is that you have the anarcho-socialists and communists who lap as anarchists. But to go back to your original question, I absolutely love the term anarchist. But like I said, when I talk to statists, I ease them in with voluntarist because people are going to accept voluntary interaction. And then once they've accepted and stuff, you go, oh, it's also called anarchism, right? No masters, no rulers. I own myself, you own you. And it kind of like, it gets around that initial defense mechanism I found, which is, oh my God, you want the purge, you want everybody to die, you want grandmother to starve in the street, and you want no roads, and we're going to live in caves. It's like, hang on a second, no.
It's kind of like the COVID thing, and I'm not even afraid to say that word on here because I don't really monetize the live streams, but it's kind of like, if you don't want people to be forced to, wear face masks and stay home, then you want to kill your grandma. It's kind of like that. It's like, yeah, if you want everybody to just decide what they're going to do in their own lives, then you must want your grandma to die. It's crazy the leaps in these people make, these mental gymnastics, but and that's like, I understand John's point there, because if you go around and say anarchism to a person who's never heard of it before, they're immediately going to jump to extremes like the purge or just people getting murdered left and right. So it's probably a good strategy to ease them in. What I do, why I say anarchy so nonchalantly on my platform, is because I'm kind of trying to get it through people's heads that anarchy shouldn't be taboo to say. It should just be a normalized word. It's just like any other form of system. You've got capitalists, you've got communists, you've got socialists, you've got fascists, and you've got anarchists. It's just another form of society, and it's nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, I think every other form of government besides a purely capitalist society, which we haven't seen in our world, by the way, at least in modern history, has forced in more violence than I think anarchy would. And I would stand behind that. I mean, and people will say, well, you've never seen anarchy work, so how can you say that for sure? I can't.
We've never tried.
Yeah, we've never tried.
How can you even debate it if you're not looking at it?
Yeah.
And we have in our
a big thing that people will always say about anarchy is, well, what do you do about national defense? And there's a great lecture by a guy named Robert Murphy out of the Mises Institute, and he outlines the national defense kind of, I don't know, he outlines how it would work in an anarchist society, and it's really cool to see. It's basically based on private property rights, that everybody would go a little bit farther in their in their preparation for defending their own private property, including big corporations and companies that have a lot of capital in one place. Imagine the money they would spend on defense mechanisms and whatnot. And you think the government has good anti-air missile systems, just wait until the private sector has a reason to start investing in that stuff, because it'll be super safe. That's for sure. But guys, I'm actually going to cut this live stream off. My son just got home, so I'm going to have to tend to him before he rushes in here with some screams and whatnot. But Ryan, I'm sorry I didn't let you talk too much, man. Or it's not that I let you.
Oh, my fault. I just got off. I just got home. I just saw you guys were up, so I was gonna actually call you in a little bit. I gotta work on this disc video on this freaking auditor still.
Yeah, everybody should check out Ryan Youngblood's channel. He's actually got a great video that I just saw. Felon Filming 5.0 put me onto it, and it's basically, you can explain it a little bit before we get off of here, but it seems like a phone call between San Joaquin Valley Transparency and Chile.
Yeah, actually, he was one of the first ones to kind of see what was really going on with Chile.
Really? That sounds interesting as fuck, dude. San Joaquin's dope, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he got.
Well, him and DirectD kind of were calling him out, and a lot of us were like, "What's wrong? You know, we don't think he's that bad of a guy. What are you talking about?" And then all the cards start to fall on the table, and now we know what's going on. But he sniffed it out real early on, and he called him. And apparently Chile was asking him for money. He wanted to try to get all the auditors that he could get to donate 10 grand towards this app, that he was building. So it's a half hour, I think, but it's a great phone call. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm about to watch it because I haven't gotten a chance to. He told me about it maybe like 40 minutes before we got on the show. So I'm looking forward to listening to it. But seriously, guys, you're gonna want to get over there and check it out because I guarantee you that.
San Joaquin?
No, Ryan Youngblood posted it. It's on his channel.
It's a call between Chile and San Joaquin that kind of went public.
It's titled Frauditor versus Auditor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you post that or mod me? I'll post
way
it.
better than the Beavis and Butthead premiere.
Well, I'll ask before we get off of here, Ty, if you're still in the stream, would you? Well, as a matter of fact, I can do it. Hold on, give me a second, because why
are you making Ty do everything? Jeez.
I know. I'm asking too much of him for sure.
While you're working on that, if you don't mind, Mr. John Reese and Ryan Youngblood, I will be trying to set up interviews with each one of them. If you guys tune into that, and we'll put something out so you guys can see ahead of time that it's going to go down. But John, I emailed you, and then Ryan, I emailed you as well. So hopefully we can link up and get that going.
Yeah, and actually, did you get my message I just sent you earlier?
I got just the text message. I'm not sure if you emailed me.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll text you after we get off here then.
Yeah, I do appreciate you trying to do that for me.
Felony Filming, I got your email this morning. Obviously, I'm on Aussie time, and I got your list of questions. Yeah. I got your list of questions. That is a lot of questions. You've done a lot of work, and I appreciate it. I write up like little notes and stuff just so I can give you the most full and in-depth answers that I can.
Yeah,
so,
and the fact that we can't get on the phone with each other kind of makes it a little more difficult. So, but yeah, you guys make sure you tune into that. It's going to be awesome.
It's free.
Wait, John got a cheat sheet? I didn't get a cheat sheet.
You don't need a cheat sheet. No cheat sheet. No cheat sheet for Ryan Youngblood.
On WhatsApp.
Ryan, really good stuff, guys. Really good stuff.
Ryan, I asked for a cheat sheet just so I could prepare some actually in-depth answers to any kind of in-depth question rather than having to kind of make it up on the fly to actually provide more value. So he's made some excellent questions, by the way. So
yeah,
it's going to be a really good interview.
Later, I was going to go over those with you as well. So I can get on the phone with you. I can't so much with him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, though, guys. So thanks for coming up here, and everybody, make sure to
post that in private chat for me.
Okay, the link.
The one I put in private, I can't put in the public. I want to put that up for Smoking Auditor.
Oh, okay.
So he can listen to it because he doesn't read.
Okay. No doubt, no doubt. We'll get that in the. Do you want it in the public chat?
That one, yeah, the archive.org one, yeah.
Okay, that is in the public chat now. So
okay, thank you.
All right, though, guys, we're gonna shut this
guys.
thing down. Thanks to everybody who joined us. I love this group. This is, if we could have a panel every week, this would be it. But of course, soon enough, we got to have somebody with an opposing view come up here. I don't see it happening anytime soon because they usually just kind of know that they're defeated before they even show up to the battle.
I'm going to stir a couple up, but you know, I mean, I'm going to make sure that they know and that you guys know we're not going to attack anyone. No one's going to start yelling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's not what we do on this channel for sure. At least in this panel here, I couldn't see anybody here going off and screaming.
And I called Kate. You know, Kate was going to come up. She said she'd love to, but she was busy. So otherwise, we could have gotten her up.
Yeah, we
definitely want to make that point. Like,
we need to set it up beforehand, Felon Filming 5.
Yeah.
We need to set it up like days before, because that's what Kate wants. She wants a few days to kind of look into whatever it is that she's going to be talking about.
And for full disclosure, I had somebody locally that was going to come up and battle with Greg. And I think what happened is they watched some of our videos and basically he totally tucked tail and
And that's the other thing. We see a lot of opposing, you know, comments, but they don't want to come up and be heard or be seen. And that's the other kind of problem, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt. And
so, okay, I got to run.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. We'll see y'all later. Thanks for joining us.
Maybe next week, buddy.
Thanks, Greg.
Absolutely. Yep. Thanks, John. Thank you, Duran, for coming up, man.
Cheers, man.
Thanks, guys.
Buddy.
Hey.
Yep. Later, guys.